Hello, Facebook, and hello, Instagram. Before we get started, I want to share with you guys a fun drink that I've discovered. So, one of my favorite cocktails is gin and tonics. And what gin is made out of is juniper berries. So I thought, I wonder if seltzer water, lime seltzer water, because when you make gin and tonics, you also add lime to that. I wonder if that would be good. And guess what? It is delicious. So I like to switch things up every once in a while. So if you're looking for a new taste and a new healthy drink, give this a try. And I love how the seltzer water bubbles. I just think that's so fun. So I am Karen Amundson, and my husband and I run Live Right. So you can find our website at www.liveright.us. But before I dive into my topic today, I have one quick announcement for you guys. We are planning to travel this summer across the country and teach classes. So if anybody is interested in learning just a basic intro class for essential oils, or you already know about essential oils, but you have friends and family and neighbors that don't know about them yet, we would love to come to your area. So for anybody who is willing to host this, we have a special gift that we are going to give you that includes oils and glassware. And then anybody who comes to the class will be able to take a roller ball home. So we'll do a fun make and take, and we'll show people how easy it is to make your own roller ball. So I'm going to throw out a few states that we already have planned to go to. And if you are in this area or this state, let me know, or you're in a different state and I didn't mention your state and you would like us to come, let me know, send me a message. Okay, so Arizona, Texas, Florida, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Kansas. Okay, so far, that's kind of our journey that we have planned for the summer, but it is completely flexible and we can definitely go more places. So let me know if that is something you would be excited to do. Okay, so now I'm going to jump into my topic, and that includes sharing with you my journey that I have been on. And I have doTERRA to thank for this journey, and not just for the essential oils, but they were the company and they were the vehicle that really opened our eyes and our awareness and our mindset and our thinking to living. So the journey really did start 3 years ago, because I would never be where I am today, talking to you today, doing Facebook Live, doing Instagram Live. I would not be here if it were not for doTERRA and just the journey that we've been on. And even doTERRA says that we're not just an essential oil company, we are a health and wellness company. And so that includes, mind, body, and spirit. And this is a journey that we will continue to be on. Our whole life is just constantly being aware of our physical body, our mind, our thoughts, what we're thinking, and our, spiritual life. So I'm going to be talking mostly about the physical body and the journey that I've been on with my own body. So growing up as a child, I grew up being very skinny, never having to lose weight, never having to diet. And then pregnancy came, and I didn't gain a ton of weight. I didn't try to really diet and lose the weight after. It mostly just came off Then, you know, had baby number 2, and it was kind of the same thing where I never dieted, right? Because I never, and I've said this before, I don't really like the idea of having to eliminate food or say no to a food or do these fad diets that are really, they're not a lifestyle change. And so you can lose the weight, but then you're going to gain it back, okay? So I've never been a fan of that. But this is what I've been noticing with my body, and a lot of this is just becoming self-aware and, you know, getting outside of yourself and really taking a close look at how you're feeling, what you're dealing with, and your physical body. So what I noticed is this is typical of most people, have put on probably a pound every year since high school. It's that really slow, gradual pound a year. You don't really notice it. It's not really a big deal until you're my age and you're like, oh, this is about 20, 30 pounds since high school. And so became aware of that. I became aware of that. And a lot of that was visceral fat, okay? So around my belly. Now, one thing that I've always been able to do is hide my weight. So nobody would really look at me, even though I'm 20 or 30 pounds heavier than high school, nobody would really look at me and say, oh, you're overweight or you're unhealthy, because I could hide it fairly well, okay? So, so I started to become aware of that, and then I started to really become aware of some health issues that I was dealing with. And I've shared this with you guys that I thought I was sensitive to dairy, because now I'm drinking a cup of coffee and it's like 2 sips in, I'm in the bathroom, and I'm just gonna say the word, because you're probably gonna hear it a couple times, diarrhea, and then drink a couple more sips and I'm back in there again, and I drink a couple more sips and I'm back in there again. And after a while, it was either, okay, I've got to stop drinking half and half and figure something else out, because I think it's the dairy, or I just have to deal with this. And for a while, I just dealt with it because I didn't want to give up my half and half, because I have this mindset of I don't want to give up food. I don't want to say no to my body. So eventually I got to the point where, all right, this is bothering me, okay? Maybe has gone on for a year or two, and decided to switch over to bulletproof coffee, which is your coffee, your either ghee or grass-fed butter, and MCT oil. So I was doing that for a while. And I noticed it started to get a little bit better. But another problem that I had and that I dealt with for years and years and years, and this is another fun word that I get to say, is gas, okay? At dinner time, and it would always happen at dinner time. I'd be fine in the morning, I'd be fine at lunch, but at dinner time, I would have incredible gas, okay? Like after dinner. And what would happen is if I would go to somebody's home and have dinner at their house and I couldn't alleviate that gas, I would have such a bad what am I going to say every single time, you know, oh, I ate dinner, I have to go home, I'm sick. And so that got me on this journey of taking a closer look at what I maybe need to do with my body, that I probably need to look at the root issue. And again, with essential oils, what we say is we don't want to use them as a Band-Aid, okay? Because they definitely support our body. And I can use Digest Zen, which is our digestive support oil. It supports your whole digestive system. I can be using that and I can experience relief temporarily, but I'm not getting to the root of the problem. So, which I think part of the root of my problem is that I have leaky gut, okay? So So now I came to this point in my life where I had to say to myself, what if it is something that I'm eating that's making me sick, that's hurting my body? So I can say to my mind, you know, oh no, I don't want to give up any foods, but what if one of those foods, something that I'm eating, is making me sick, okay? So now in comes, and I know probably a lot of you have heard of this, it starts with food, okay? So this is the book. It starts with food that goes along with the Whole30 program. And I have known about this program for years. I have friends who have done it. I've talked to them about it. It sounded great, but I wasn't there emotionally to make that commitment and really to give up food, okay? So I got this book, which I've had for years, okay? A friend gave this to me, the same friend that we had talked, my husband and I both talked to him about Whole30. Had this book for years, finally came to this point of I have got to work on healing my body and looking at the root of the problem. And so this book, I highly, highly recommend, whether you do Whole30 or not. This explains how food works in your body, okay? How hormones work in your body, how it's all interconnected, how your gut works, how your digestive system works, how your liver works, how your immune system works. So this book, again, is incredible. If you are wanting to take one step forward in your healthy lifestyle journey, just read this for the simple fact of knowing how food works in your body. So I read this book, and one thing, I just want to check my notes here to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so the leaky gut part. Let me just read, because we hear a lot about leaky gut, and I didn't really quite understand what leaky gut meant, and this book talks about it, and I'm just going to give you a brief description of what it is, okay? Okay, so it says in here, and this is a continuation, do you remember the significance of maintaining an appropriate barrier between outside and inside? And they're talking about the gut. And how when that barrier is compromised, we end up with a leaky gut. So your gut has a barrier, and if it is not sealed and you end up getting little holes in that barrier, that is where you have leaky gut. And what happens as a result of that increased intestinal permeability, bacteria and their toxins, undigested food, and waste may leak out of the intestines into the bloodstream. Okay, so so I felt like I probably have leaky gut because I think that's what's going on. I have obviously some digestive issues, I know that, but I'm also dealing with chronic inflammation, which is a sign of leaky gut. So you can end up having like systemic inflammation, which ultimately down the road is going to turn into disease, okay? So in comes Whole30, and I finally decided I am going to give this a try. Finished reading this book, and the very next day, I didn't go out and go grocery shopping. I didn't get all prepared for it. I was just, I'm doing this, and I'm going to eat the food, whatever we have in this house that is on this program. I'm going to do it and just go from there. And when I run out of the food that I can eat, I'm going to go to the grocery store and get what I need. And that's what I've done. So it's not this crazy intense program that you have to plan out weeks in advance and do all this special, grocery shopping for. You can read this book and literally start it the next day. Now, one thing that I originally thought, because it's 30 days, I originally thought that, oh, each day you have to eat something different. And it's this program of day 1 you do this, and day 2 you do that, and day 3 you do this. It's not that at all. So I'm going to tell you what it is real quick. You eliminate, and you might know this because Whole30 is very popular. You eliminate wheat, you eliminate legumes, you eliminate sugar, you eliminate alcohol, and you eliminate wheat grains. Okay, so those 5 things. And then what you do at the end of 30 days is you reintroduce those foods one at a time, and you see what your body is sensitive to. So I'm going to know now for sure if I'm sensitive to dairy, because if I bring it back into my body and I react to it, that's going to be a good indicator that I'm sensitive to it. And then it comes back to me to the question of, do I want to feel this way? Do I want to drink dairy or eat this ice cream? Do I want to pay for what I may feel after eating this? Okay, so it's ultimately my choice at the end. What do I want to feed my body? Am I sensitive to this? And if so, do I want to pay the price? Now, the other thing this program talks about, which is something that Mike touched on during his last call, which is timed eating, where you get on this program where it's timed, and it's related to fasting. Okay, so watch his call on fasting and how today we are so used to eating 6 to 10 meals a day because we're constantly snacking in between. And you know, you look at, I don't know, 100, 200 years ago, people never did that. I mean, even myself growing up, we didn't snack as much as we snack today. We didn't have a pantry full of processed foods like we do today. And it was pretty much breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But that has all changed because we have this surplus supply of food that we all have access to. And so what this Whole30 does is they talk about, you sit down at the dinner table, because this is another thing too, is we're constantly shoveling food in our mouth and running here and running there and not taking just 15 minutes a day to sit down and eat and enjoy your food. And I was guilty of that. So what this talks about is you sit down, you eat your breakfast at the table. And I have been doing this, this is out of the ordinary. I normally would just have my bulletproof coffee and that was it, and wait till lunch. So now I'm sitting down at the table, I'm eating my scrambled eggs, my sweet potatoes, my spinach, you know, whatever I want for breakfast, and I'm chewing my food, I'm enjoying my food, I'm being grateful for my food, I'm thanking God that I have this food to help heal my body. And I'm asking the Lord, please bless this food. Please heal my body. Please heal my gut, you know, repair it, put that lining back together. And whatever else is going on inside of my body that isn't healthy, use this food to heal my body. And so I'm going to tell you guys what I've noticed. So I'm on whatever today's date is. I think it's, what's today? I don't know, the 24th or something. So 24 days I've been doing this. Within the first few days, I noticed right away the gas went away. So no longer at night was I feeling bloated. And I don't know if I mentioned this as well when I had said, you know, I had gained like basically a pound a year. I was to the point where I felt like I was 6 months pregnant. So again, I carry my weight all in my stomach, which is the worst. That's visceral fat. And I look pictures of before I was pregnant and when I was pregnant. And so it's this like bloated, heavy, hard stomach, okay? So I noticed the gas went away, the diarrhea has gone away. I sleep so much better. So this is another benefit that you'll notice when you, if you want to try this, if you, and I'm sharing this because if anybody is experiencing any of the symptoms that I've experienced or other symptoms that you need to take a deeper look into, like why am I feeling this way? Why do I keep having this symptom? Why am I, why am I not feeling healthy and feeling good? Because we're meant to feel good, right? Our bodies, we want to feel awesome and amazing. And so you know what your body is maybe dealing with. If you're not feeling well. So if that's you, then you may want to consider getting this book and reading this book and trying this elimination program, okay? So that's why they call it a nutritional reset. And I like looking at it that way because that's what it is. It's not so much a diet, okay? Your diet is what you eat, but you get what I'm saying, okay? The other thing that I have noticed is I have lost weight. I've lost some of that visceral fat around my stomach. Now, do I have a six-pack right now? No, but I'm telling you, I've lost inches, and so I'm making progress, and I'm healing my body. I can feel, sorry guys, that's my dad calling in. I can feel a difference. I can feel that I feel better. I feel healthier. I have more energy. And now there goes Facebook. And I'm sleeping better, okay? So just wanted to share this with you guys. This is the journey that I have been on. It's taken me 3 years to basically get here. My whole entire past 3 years, because I've been taking, baby steps in each area of my life, I was able to take this step. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. You can message me. You can ask them right now. For those of you who are on, if you have like this burning question, feel free to jot it down. But that's really all I wanted to share is just my journey, and I'll probably keep sharing with you when I reintroduce these foods. And I'm sure some of you guys know, people who have done Whole30, you can go to their website and you can print out, they have a shopping list so you know what foods, to eat. And I just kind of highlighted my favorite ones. And you stay away from added sugars. Now, added sugars are very sneaky, right? They use all sorts of fun language for added sugar. So this is your list for that. And that's about it. So you can go to their website. You can follow them on Instagram. But I just wanted to share that with you guys, this journey, this health journey, and the results that I am seeing so far. All right, everyone. Have a good rest of the day. Bye. Thanks for joining. Time to call my dad back.